A month after Johnny Depp's triumph in his multi-million-dollar defamation trial against Amber Heard, the ex-Pirates of the Caribbean actor is now officially facing the first attempt to overturn his legal victory with a brutal double punch. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at how the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation just got worse. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. A not unexpected memorandum filed July 1st in Virginia court by the Aquaman star's attorney says, for all the reasons set forth above, and for the reasons set forth on the record during the hearings and at trial in the motions in limine and motions to strike, Ms. Heard respectfully requests this court to set aside the jury verdict in favor of Mr. Depp and against Ms. Heard in its entirety, dismiss the complaint, or, in the alternative, order a new trial. Heard has long claimed that Depp subjected her to domestic violence. She told a British court in 2020 and an American court this year that Depp had sexually abused her repeatedly. Heard's Elaine Bredehoeft-led defense and $100 million countersuit team announced their intention to appeal as soon as the verdicts of more than $10 million were handed down on June 1st in Fairfax, Virginia by Judge Penny Escarate, largely in favor of an absent Johnny Depp. Judge Escarate's requirement that Heard post an $8.35 million bond in order to file an appeal at a final judgment hearing on June 24th appears to have merely closed off one entry point while simultaneously opening another. What is surprising though is the jury-directed uppercut Heard delivered. Unlike the nearly routine effort to overturn the conviction on precedent and procedure grounds, changes of shoddy jury screening might be explosive. Ms. Heard further requests this court to investigate potential improper juror service and take appropriate action warranted by the results of the investigation, the 43-page memo declares. In a case full of pretzel twists since Depp first sued his ex-wife and the Rum Diary co-star for $50 million in early 2019 and over a late 2018 Washington Post op-ed with her byline, this move against the court's credibility via juror number 15 is a newly discovered high-risk tactic. The document goes on to say, the information of the jury panel list appears to be inconsistent with the identity and demographics of one of the jurors, exclaims the Bredehoeft-signed memo. Juror number 15 was apparently born in 1970, not 1945, as reported to and relied upon by the parties, including Mrs. Heard, in selecting a jury panel. It adds damningly of the Old Dominion Court. Given the requirements for verification of each juror, it appears the identity of the juror was not verified. It is unclear if juror number 15 was in fact ever summoned for jury duty or qualified to serve on the panel. This warrants an investigation by this court to determine if the juror was in fact summoned and whether the due process rights of the parties were bypassed. Depending upon the results of the investigation, this may justify setting aside the verdict in its entirety and setting this matter for a new trial. After an explicit 6-week trial, the 7-person jury handed Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, the latter of which was cut down to $350,000 due to the ceiling under Virginia law. Echoing statements made by Heard and her attorneys since the trial concluded, the newest July 1st memo says that the verdict is excessive as a matter of law in light of the evidence and law and should be set aside, further evidencing the confusion resulting from Depp's efforts to relitigate the 2016 domestic relations matter without the truth of the UK government. The jury's dueling verdicts are inconsistent and irreconcilable. The memo also grinds in some salt by spotlighting Depp's loss on the other side of the Atlantic in late 2020 in his libel suit against Rupert Murdoch's The Sun tabloid for calling him a wife beater. The paperwork notes what many saw as a head-scratcher of a decision of Heard's 2020 countersuit. The finding of defamation against Ms. Heard with a $2 million award is inconsistent with the finding of defamation against Mr. Depp with a $15 million award. Through the largely ACLU-written op-ed in the Jeff Bezos' own WAPO, never actually named Depp by name, the litigious actor claimed it devastated his career, which was already in decline. In court documents and testimony, Depp asserted that he was the victim of domestic violence in the relationship. Heard's side, which has rarely mentioned the First Amendment until closing arguments, is now concentrating on the breadth and depth required to establish a defamation claim, as Depp has done thus far. Criteria that the last Oscar nominee and his Brown Rudnick LLP team failed not to achieve, according to some. For the jury to conclude that Heard exhibited genuine malice, Johnny Depp had to prove that, at the time the op-ed was published, Heard did not believe she had been assaulted or had doubts as to whether she had been abused. However, Johnny Depp offered no proof that Amber Heard did not believe she was abused. Instead, the evidence strongly corroborated Heard's claim that she was the victim of Depp's assault. Johnny Depp did not satisfy the legal prerequisites for genuine malice. Hence, the verdict should be overturned. Representatives for Depp and his legal team, led by Ben Chu and Camille Vasquez, did not respond to a request for comment on the new Heard move and the accompanying brief today. On the other side, the Hollywood Vampires guitarist Depp himself took to social media last weekend, having appeared on stage a few times with Jeff Beck in the United Kingdom last month during and after the jury's deliberations. Depp, displaying a little less swagger than he did online in the hours and days following the verdict in the defamation case, has not yet issued a clear reaction to the new filing. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Why do you think Amber Heard is trying to make the situation worse? Let me know in the comments section below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.